Hi guys, well it is day 5 of my Quinoderm journey to kind of fight my spots, and I have to say that I've been really pleased with the results so far. I don't know how clearly you can see, but I'll come a bit closer to say that, you know, the spots have cleared up dramatically. There is still a few little areas of redness, but they're not actual spots. I think they're more like the scarring from underneath, from where the spots have been, because, you know, in the past I have kind of picked them and squeezed them a bit, which does leave scarring on the skin. But all in all, it's a lot clearer. There are no spots there really. There's a tiny one here, I don't know if you can see it, but like a little red one just there. But other than that, there's none. Basically, when I first started using it, which was on Friday, it was 5 days ago, I managed to use it, you know, the 3 times a day that was recommended. And when I first put it on my skin, I didn't really notice any kind of stinging or burning or anything, and I was kind of expecting it to really be sore. But in fact it was okay. It was much better than I thought it was going to be, so that was really good. The second time I used it though, it did sting and my chin went really quite red, and I was a bit like, oh, ouch. But you know, it was okay, it was absolutely fine. The stinging kind of lasts for sort of, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes, and then it goes. So for the first certainly for the first 2 days, I didn't really notice any improvement in my spots. They still stayed the same. But one thing I really did notice is that I didn't have any new ones come through, whereas before, you know, new ones were kind of popping up all the time, sometimes in little clusters, sometimes they're on their own. I actually found there was no new ones, which has been really good. And I've really noticed sort of yesterday and today that they are now a hell of a lot clearer, and there's no spots on my skin really other than that little red one, and all that is remaining is a little bit of redness and some dryness. The dryness is quite bad, I would say. You know, my skin has gone quite dry, quite flaky in this area, but it's what I've been doing to kind of combat that. Is I've been using bio oil to try and help bring the scarring down and to give the area a little bit more moisture. And I've also been using, you know, much more moisturiser on my chin area, and that seems to be helping. And one other thing that I've been using is this exfoliating scrub from Boots. This is actually a tea tree and witch hazel scrub, and I've actually been wetting my skin and doing that, but only occasionally, not every time. Just, you know, it's been quite helpful just to sort of scrub it over my skin and remove some of that dead skin that's been around and dry skin that's been flaking off on the top of the surface. But other than the dryness, I have to say my skin is a lot clearer, and I'm really happy with the results. I'm actually really amazed with the results. It's, you know, it's been a lot more than I thought it was going to be, but it's been really good. One thing I wanted to talk to you about is the bleaching kind of aspect of this Quinoderm. Is, you know, it does say everywhere on the instructions and everything that it can bleach your sort of your clothes and your bedding and that sort of thing. I actually haven't had any issues with that. I've been really careful. I've washed my hands thoroughly with like an antibacterial soap every time I've used them, the Quinoderm, and washed it with hot water and then dried it in a towel, and haven't noticed any problems with staining on my clothes or anything. And obviously at bedtime it's a little bit more tricky, so what I've been doing is coming home of an evening, 6 o'clock-ish, washing my skin all off thoroughly, taking off all my makeup with the Johnson's wipes I spoke to you about in our last video, and then putting on the Quinoderm, and that be it then for the evening. And by the time I go to bed, you know, a few hours later, it's all sort of soaked in and is absolutely fine. So that's been great. I haven't had any staining anywhere. So, you know, all I'd say is just be really careful, because I know that benzoyl peroxide products do stain if you're not, you know, really cautious with them. What else did I need to tell you? I haven't really done anything differently with my skin other than to use Quinoderm. I'm still using the same moisturiser, I'm still using the same wipes, so from that point of view everything has been the same. so I'm certain that it is the Quinoderm that has caused my spots to dry up and to disappear. And I think the next stage for me now is just to work on the dryness, because the dryness is causing only tiny bits, but little bits of red, which I am aware of. But when I look in the mirror, I'm certainly a lot happier with my skin, and it looks a lot clearer and a lot nicer. So I'm really pleased. I just wanted to say to you all as well, if you have any questions or queries, or if you want to do like a video response to this video, or any of my other videos, then that would be absolutely fantastic. I will keep on updating on how things are going, and if I change any of my regime, I'll let you all know. And obviously if things change or go, hopefully they won't, but if they start going backwards and I start getting spots again, then I will update you all as to how things are going, because from experience with spots, they do change and things do happen, but certainly that's the best and quickest cure I've found so far. So anyway, if you have any questions or queries, please drop me a comment and I will answer them as soon as possible. But I'll speak to you all soon. Bye guys. Bye.